Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Valley Podcast. Terrible loss tonight, Coach Evan. We're not going to win every game, but there's just something about losing to teams that we really feel like we should be beating soundly, and we have a problem with that. And that's really my biggest frustration after this loss. I feel like this loss hurts a little bit more than some of the other ones. What do you think, man?
Man, it was a bummer tonight, wasn't it?
Totally.
Um, they just didn't have the effort. You can say, oh, they weren't hitting their threes, they weren't doing this, they weren't doing that, but man, they just weren't playing, man. They just weren't playing hard. They were making the wrong mistakes. They were making the wrong reads. They weren't hitting the shots. I don't really think the refs were too much of an issue because the fouls were actually right there. I think Steven Adams had 8 offensive rebounds. Like they just weren't playing with heart tonight, don't you think?
They weren't playing with heart. They weren't playing with any real urgency. Didn't it feel like to you like they just probably took them for granted? Like you were saying to me earlier before we started, trap game. They're
When
going into this game thinking like it's fine. It's the Pelicans. Like we just
we
beat
already
the
blew them
Mavericks
out,
2 games
right?
in a row. We've already blown them out. We'll be fine. Let's just show up and collect our W. Our team does that too much, and Monty has said that oh, that's partially my fault, blah blah. Yeah, that's a bad hallmark of Monty's team. Would you agree? He
One
does a lot
hundred.
of great things, but that's one of the things that I've been harping on all season. I just can't stand the way he gets his teams prepped for lower competition. I
One
tweeted it
hundred.
earlier tonight. There is no such thing as a guaranteed win for this Suns team. I should have tweeted that. I was going to before the game started. I just didn't want to jinx us, and I didn't want to be a downer. But I wanted to say, I got a bad feeling about this game because it feels like a game we should so easily win, and those are the games we lose and look the
Constantly.
worst. Yeah. Do you want to just hop into the highlights, man, and check it out? What's going
Let's
on?
just go
Iverson
right into it. There's
vlog.
there's not much to talk about on this one. What's going
Iverson
on, Iverson
vlogs.
Vlogs?
Vlogs isn't going to let this loss get him down. Maybe he is, but he's still down for the podcast. We appreciate you, bro. Let's get into these highlights, man. Let's see where it all went wrong. Where do you think it went wrong the most, though, man?
Inconsistency, just what we've been talking about. And it's not even against the good teams or the bad teams. It's just inconsistency, man. It's just not showing up. The stat line is absolutely ridiculous for the Suns. 8 of 35 from 3. Mikal Bridges 0 for 7 from 3. Devin Booker 0 for 4. Crowder 1 for 4. Cam Johnson 2 for 7. One of them was an air ball. They got to the line about as much as the Pelicans, one less, so I'm not going to say anything there. And they had 14 turnovers on the road. You can't have that. It's just one of those. You're coming off of a high, 2 road wins over Luca and a full strength team. The second one, this was a letdown game. You beat them by 40 already. It sucks that it had to be on national TV, but it is what it is. I mean, the first quarter they just looked like they weren't hitting shots. They looked like they were playing defense and they were doing things. And then Coach Monty came out just a few minutes before we went on, and he said they let the lack of shots going in dictate the way they played the rest of the game. You can't have that, bro. What when I tell you that, what do you think of?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You're the coach. What does it say to you as a coach?
You're soft mentally. You're soft, man. If you're letting that dictate an NBA game, this isn't high school, this isn't college, this is an NBA game where you got to play hard the whole time in a shortened season. I mean, it wasn't too long ago we lost 3, 4, 5 in a row, was it? So it just
Right.
boggles my mind. You come out with that kind of attitude. Oh, if I'm not going to make a shots, I'm not going to put up anything. No, Iverson, I'm not saying any. We just need to beat them. We just need to beat them and focus on the next opponent. They got our number last time. It'd be ideal to do that, but last time we blew somebody out, it didn't work too well for us in these Pelicans.
I
Wouldn't you
think
say,
we
Gabe?
vlogs. I think we will potentially smack the Pistons. For us, smacking can be just a 10-point solid win where we're not like, having hyperventilations down the stretch, the last end of the fourth quarter. But that's another thing that Monty's teams do, man. Monty's teams, they come back after losses and they play hard. It's like they're very uniform about this stuff. It's very repetitive. They lose a game, they're going to come back and play hard and win the next game. They play a team that's really tough, like the Clippers, they're going to hang in there with them and probably beat them. If not, it's going to be hella close. If they play a team like this tonight that should get smacked up, we're going to play however they play. But one of the things we also do every time, like clockwork, like that, playing down and up to our competition, one of the things that we do is we come back and we win after an embarrassing loss.
I mean, and are we going to have Dario back? That's the thought, right? We should have Dario back by this time. I mean,
we need him back so bad. But let me just real quick, I want to kind of talk about Kaminsky. All shitting aside, dude, Kaminsky played hard tonight.
I agree.
Played hard tonight. And what do you want to say? Maybe like 4 out of the last 5 games, he's looked solid.
And you were saying before, for the third center, for the third guy, the third big guy off the bench, or second big guy off the bench, you really can't ask for much more, right? It seems like he has an understanding of the system. He obviously knows the guys. He puts up enough of a fight for me to not really bitch too much. It's not his fault. He's not a 280-pound gargantuan. Right. You know what I mean? And he can come in and get that 20 to 25 point game. We're waiting for that. That'd be nice. That would have been nice tonight. The Frank Kaminsky game.
I don't even need that from Frank.
But like, he can do that is my thing.
I like what he's doing. He's coming in and he's giving us these dope throwback Suns jersey, by the way. Can you lift that up and show me what number that is?
Oh, that's Stevie.
Okay.
That's Stevie.
So,
my first official jersey that I bought, that was, when they were like $200 back in the day.
Did you pay $200 for that?
Yeah, working at a pizza place and being a host and a busser.
So Kaminsky tonight, 6.7 rebounds. He missed both of his threes, but he had 2 blocks. I just felt like he's doing a good Saric impression. He's passing well now too. Like, he's starting to pass the ball and move it, and you see his chemistry with Mikal Bridges. I'm happy with Frank Kaminsky on this roster now. I'm officially happy that Frank is back. And I think if he can just keep this 7-6, top end is like 12 points, 13 rebounds like he had against the Warriors. If we're getting that Frank Kaminsky with Saric, so it's like Frank's doing that in 15 minutes a game, man.
Frank Kaminsky had 17 minutes. Jay Crowder had 13.
What was going on with that? What was going on?
Dude, Zion was eating and feasting on Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson whenever there were switches or something down there. Feasting, and he didn't put Jay Crowder in. That was a bad coaching move, and I do agree finally that Jay Crowder definitely needs to be inserted back into the lineup.
He does, man. He plays like dog shit when he's not in the starting lineup, and Cam Johnson plays better from the bench. He even plays better from the bench. So it's like, just do it already. Last time we played the Pelicans, Jay was starting. Jay did a much better job guarding Zion. It seemed like tonight would have been the natural night to say, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
For sure.
Also, I'm starting to get surprised that Etuan Moore has completely wrestled away every single minute from Javon Carter.
I wouldn't say I'm surprised by that because of how piss poor Javon played against OKC. It's just, personally, I think it has to do with the chemistry with Cam Payne and what they want to do and going crazy on the backcourt when they're on defense on the opposing backcourt. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we are going to have to wait for him to get back, but
man,
I would have thought that too. Think about how Javon played for us. Just think about the spirit that he plays with. Don't you think he deserves to have like a bad game here or there? Can't he have a couple? Nader gets to play like Nader, and he still gets all the goddamn minutes he wants.
Yes.
It's like, why is our point guard on our backup point guard on such a short leash, Javon Carter? Why does he get to have one bad game? It's like, yeah, I see why you were a second rounder. Get to the back of the bench. It's like, come on.
And
he had a bad game or two.
Etwan Moore is no world beater. He's not coming out and lighting anything up. He's not doing anything overly terrible, but he is not coming in and being this, this godsend. There's no reason to not give Javon another chance. You're right about the hustle and the heart. He gives that PJ Tucker, that Lou Amundsen, Bo Outlaw type of
You're still
heart
going
and
to get
hustle.
that out of him. And I think that's an important part of our second team. Now, I do want to say, however, Etwan is doing a good job. And I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He is doing a better job. He looks like he's obviously in the flow of things.
Not as good a
Nader,
defender.
just God, trade Nader, dude. Please, I can't take it anymore. Like, he's such a fraud. He does things that make you go like, oh, hey, looky here. But then his consistency, bro, is not there. He is the least consistent three-point shooter for the Suns. Yet he pulls with the same green light that Channing Frye pulled. Am I wrong? Does Nader ever pass up a three if it's there? Hell no.
No, he jacks them up for sure.
Do you ever feel like
No.
do you feel like it's going in?
No.
Are you surprised? I'm surprised every time he hits, and I'm not surprised when it was the exact same opposite with Cam Johnson.
100%.
When Cam throws it up, I'm like, oh, that's probably in. Yep. Oh my gosh, he missed.
Yep.
Nader, it's like, come on. And you're a coach. No, look at this from now on. Okay, I was watching Nader in warm-ups the other night. He shoots with his elbow out. Check me out here. He has that little LeBron elbow out. He does not tuck that elbow in. Every other Sun shooter, including McHale, has tucked that elbow in. And Nader is just like, oh, look at me. I know better than them. No, you don't. You're a terrible shooter. Fuck, I hate Nader, man. I hate this loss tonight.
I hate Monty's lineups again. I don't understand why Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton were not in to close the second quarter. They were out for like the last 4, 5, 6 minutes even. And Salty was like, "That's because Ayton has 2 fouls." Well,
just two.
That's
we're used
so
to
normal.
Him playing with 4 at that point.
Yeah, it's so normal for a guy to play with 2. I mean, you don't want to get in foul trouble where we were getting owned, and Frank Kaminsky playing that amount of minutes is not okay. End of the second quarter, just atrocious. There's no reason we couldn't have. If we were up going into that at the end of the second quarter, if we were up 2 points, 3 points, right, 5 points, wouldn't have we felt so much better about that? And then all of a sudden, if you hit 1-3 to start the third quarter, you're off and running. There's just the psyche there, and that was awful seeing that. You're gonna have Etwan Moore close out the freaking second quarter, and you've got Chris Paul. I mean, I know that they're trying to minutes restrict him now. He had 25 tonight. Even the additional 6, if they wouldn't have pulled them at 31, isn't what he was pulling in. So they're probably trying to like rest him because he's had to play so much more with Booker out. But man, he disappeared tonight too, man. I mean, as a team, we had 14 turnovers. He only had 1. Book had 3, and Nader had freaking 3. I saw that, but 14 turnovers ain't gonna do it. Partly with the chemistry issue, weird lineups. You have Crowder and Javon Carter. Even if we weren't hitting our shots, like you said, he's not gonna pout and everything. He's gonna give you all-out defense going on the other side, which is what we severely lacked in this game. Monty proved it by saying that.
Iverson was saying, let's talk about how Lonzo and JJ become gods against us when they've been bad all season. That's just going to happen, and it's unfortunate that happened in conjunction with us having an off night. We couldn't hit shit, and it seemed like they really couldn't miss. They stepped into 3 deep three-pointers to end that fourth quarter, to end like the halfway point of the fourth quarter, and to put them up like 21, 24, and it was just like, okay, this shit's over. Lonzo Ball is slapping threes. JJ Redick, who's just come back from injury, is slapping moving threes with a hand in the face. It just wasn't our night, man. And I would rather lose. I would rather lose by 22 and just know that it's over and it just was a bad night than have these games where it's a nitty-gritty loss, but not against the Pelicans.
We've seen this all throughout the NBA, bro. Right?
Good teams losing to bad teams?
We just teams, doing good and then losing by 20 to 30. we've seen this season consistently.
Booker 9 for 20, 9 for 20, 0 for 4 from three. Just off, man.
Look at
10
those
points
stats,
from
dude.
Paul.
It was nothing. A whole lot of
Nobody
nothing.
scored more than 13 points other than Booker. And Ayton, sorry, man, 9 shots. Like, who on the Pelicans is going to stop Ayton, hypothetically?
He's
Who
quicker
does
than
he?
Steven Adams.
He's quicker. He's like 4 inches taller. Adams is a great player, but Ayton should be eating. And he didn't look hungry. 6 for 9. That sounds like you were doing pretty decent. Why not take more? Exactly.
It wasn't there, just like you said. They're coming off of the high of winning all those games, and now look at the Mavericks losing both of those games, and they come back and beat the Hawks tonight. It's a weird year. It's every team is doing it. I mean, who did the Mavericks beat the Clippers by like 50 earlier this year?
Yeah.
Right? And nobody's even talking about that anymore.
I'm not embarrassed by the amount that we lost by. This is the first game all season where we lost, we knew we lost. And so we just let it go and we put in our backups. You know, I'm not that embarrassed that it was a 22-point loss. I'm just embarrassed that we lost to them, period. It doesn't matter 1 or 22. You shouldn't be losing to this team.
Agreed.
And you have to have something better to defend Zion Williamson with than Cam Johnson. I love you, Cam. No. Kaminsky on Zion? Bro, the problem really is we don't have anyone built to stop Zion, do we? I think Ayton would be the only person I feel comfortable guarding Zion, but then, of course, that's going to put him in foul trouble real quick, the way Zion goes at the rim.
I mean, we did see Kaminsky and DA playing in that last final stretch in like the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter. They finally brought Kaminsky in over
They were a little tall for him. That was nice.
And I actually like that. Didn't we see some DA and Saric either earlier this year, but definitely in the bubble?
Yes.
When we needed to be bigger. So,
yes.
Man, Dario's going to bring so much stability and campaign. It's just like we're going to have a completely different team again and go through this all again. My worry is we blow out the Pistons and then don't show up Sunday against the Celtics on an early game. That's what can't happen.
You know, I'm not afraid of that, man. Because of Monty's DNA in this team, we're going to show up against the Celtics turned up. Like, on PEDs, ready to go. Everyone's going to be ready to rock, and they're going to look good because it's going to be on TV against the Celtics. I'm more worried about these little games that should be gimmies. I think we should win Detroit, right? We should win versus Detroit.
We should have won the first one.
But yeah.
I mean, look what happens. I mean, in theory, you should win, but I'm not going to underestimate them or any team, you know, and I don't even like mentioning that we're even playing Boston on Sunday because I'm all about the next game. That's what I said after the Dallas Mavericks game. It's over. It's done. The only game that matters is New Orleans. And I will cry wolf. I'll die on this hill. That's the only thing that matters in sports is the next game. The second the next one's over, go to the next one. Baseball, football, I don't care.
Give me your grade letter for Ayton today. Same in the chat. Gabe Martinez, what's going on, dog?
What's going on, Gabe?
And we're going to lose.
Grade on Ayton. D+, C-?
D+.
C-? I mean, nobody did anything. I mean, as a team, you automatically come down an extra letter grade or two.
I give him a C. You know, 13 and 11, that needs to be his floor. You know, he should be waking up, rolling out of bed, and grabbing. Iverson Vlogs gives him a C-. So I think we're all kind of thinking the same thing.
If he would have played an extra 6 minutes, he'd have had more rebounds, right?
Yes, he just wasn't interested tonight.
Nobody was, so you can't place that solely on him.
Like, what is that, man? How? It's not like it was a back-to-back. I mean, you think it would just comes down to they thought that they were going to get an easy W? Because this Pelicans team just beat the Bucks a few nights ago.
Well, Bucks were pissed, right? Wouldn't you be pissed getting smacked by 42 or whatever it was to start the year?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Gabe Martinez says we are tanking. Oh God, no.
Yeah, Iverson Vlogs, we are on a 7-game homestand. You know, I really don't have too much more to say. It's just inconsistencies, coaching lineups, still no depth behind our starters, and weird lineups that we're seeing due to that. And man, I'd really love for them to just, really step up. And in a game like this, fight, scratch, and claw, but we're not seeing it. So I'm hoping this is just one of those on to the next one. Like, don't even watch a rerun of this. Don't even watch film or tape or nothing. Just go in. We need to focus on Detroit. We need to come out. We need to beat Detroit going into a 7-game homestand and just start off with a good bang. That's what we need to do. I'd really love to open up some more conversation here with more chat. If you guys got some more questions, what you guys want to talk about, Gabe, do you have anything else you want to lay on this one? I mean, it might be a short one tonight, but it's just
no, bro. And I absolutely expected this to be a shorter podcast. I mean, Iverson saying maybe Payne and Dario back Friday. I'm super disappointed with Dario. You know, like
with him or the situation.
I don't know. I'm upset with the whole coaching staff and the way they're handling injuries this year. Like Sticks isn't healthy enough to play. Oh, we're down by 20. Hey, Sticks, go play the rest of the fourth quarter. Bullshit. If Sticks can play for 6 consecutive minutes, 7 minutes, you can sprinkle him in through the game for 3 minutes here and 3 minutes here and 4 minutes there. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of us sitting Sticks on the bench. Sarek can't play. All right, you had COVID. I'm not going to go there. I'm sure you are winded to the point where maybe you actually need it. But what
he
the
had
fuck,
cleft
man?
lip. He had cleft lip. Remember, so that hurts the COVID.
Is that what it was?
I have no idea.
I was going to say, put a freaking LeBron mask on him and get him out there. Like, where's the urgency? You know, it seems like Monty is content just running Nader out there. And just running more. No, man. Get our guys back on the damn court. I never thought I'd be missing the days of D'Antoni when he actually played the hell out of his starters. Because we are thin right now, man. And when Mikhail is not hitting his shot, he is average.
Gabe Martinez, did Ayton and CP3 play like 30 seconds in the third? Yeah, it seemed like it. And in the second quarter, it sure as hell seemed like it. And Iverson Vlogs, the Suns get addicted to shooting the 3-ball, thinking we're Houston. I mean, that's his offense, though. That's what we've always done. Nobody's saying that when we're making all the threes, right? I mean, you live and you die by the 3. But the thing that I did like when we weren't hitting it is Devin Booker in the second quarter getting to the lane and getting to the paint, getting a lot of and ones. Didn't he have like 3 and ones tonight? Yeah. So that's something we haven't seen. It was nice to see that. So he did change it up. I don't think any of the other coaching staff did. I mean, it's hard to say when we're not there. But we do get addicted to the 3, but it's the 0.5 second offense. Make a decision. If you know you're open and you're a shooter and coach is giving you the green light, Nader's going to shoot all freaking day. Javon Carter's going to shoot 8 threes. It's just going to happen. Spurs fan Gary in here, huh?
Let's see what this is.
Put it up.
I know I'm a broken record, but your bench is killing you. They played the most in the third, and you gave up 40.
Yep.
When the starters rest, no one steps up or gives you a spark. Just my opinion.
Take that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been saying that, man. The bench is insanely thin right now, you know, and that's not something the Suns can afford to have. And our coach is making it thinner by holding out Dario Saric until next season, giving him a full year to recover from COVID, and having Sticks need an entire year to come back from – what did Sticks have?
ankle? I don't remember.
Gosh, man. I mean, it's frustrating because we really don't know the extent. I'd almost appreciate a little bit more like transparency because when it's hurting the team this bad, it's like, could you at least just give us some idea as to why we're so thin? Like, can you just tell us what's going on? Like, I see you put Sticks out there at the end of the game. Why isn't he getting any run in the beginning of the game or in the middle of the game?
And teams have figured out Langston Galloway when I see Nader, right? I want to turn off my TV too. Like he had that 16-point game, and you're like, damn, okay. Then doesn't play at all against Dallas. I mean, that could partly be on Monty too. He's trying to do too much to prove himself yet again. Galloway went through it, dude. He went games without playing. Etwan Moore didn't play the start. Now Javon Carter's going through it. Like, I think a lot of the bench depth issues is 100% on Monty because he's just picking and choosing, like you said. He's just throwing things on a dartboard and seeing what sticks at this point. I guess Frank Kaminsky has obviously shown he's going to stick around, and Jay Crowder, yet he only played 13 minutes. Etwan Moore and Langston Galloway played more than Jay Crowder. That just boggles me when he could have guarded Zion.
Sense, man. He better be injured. That's the only explanation I'm willing to hear is that he, like Nader. We didn't know 2 games ago that Nader had that ankle injury, right? We just thought that he gave Gallo all of his minutes. Thank God. Nah, turns out he was dealing with a little ankle. It better be something like that with Crowder, bro. Better be something like that with Crowder because it's inexcusable to be the head coach and to have schlubs like us see it so clearly when he can't. It's insane. It's how I feel as a Bears fan with Matt Nagy. It's just like I shouldn't understand what's unfolding in front of me better than you, Matt, but I do, and that's why I want him gone. I don't want Monty gone, but he just I thought he was so much better than this. They talk about him like he is the second coming of, Paul Westphal. Like, he's not that good of a coach. He's just a great leader, right?
He's an amazing leader.
An amazing leader. He's who you really would prefer to have coaching your team because the players are going to play hard for him. But he's got things he needs to iron out, man.
I did like how early in the season he came out and he was pissed off that he wasn't holding his guys accountable. Then we came out after the OKC loss and beat down the Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. It was Warriors, and then we went to the Mavs twice. He's got to continue to do that. Maybe he didn't do that. I want to answer some more questions, and I want to talk about Mikal Bridges. I got a thought that I tweeted that nobody replied to that I know makes a lot of sense, but Gary, Book and CP3 are your only consistent scorers of late. Bring Paul off the bench for a while.
Not going to happen, Gary, because look, that argument might have worked a couple weeks ago when CP3 wasn't playing this insane brand of basketball. Tonight, it looked like that would have been a good idea. But the last few games, he's been carrying us like entire city of Phoenix on his back, carrying us with mid-rangers, threes, beautiful assists, hard-nosed defense. It's like, nah, I don't think it wouldn't really make any sense to have him off the bench. I mean, maybe switch up the rotation so he's in at a different time than Book, but
that's what Gabe Martinez says. Bring that up next, that comment up.
They're staggering Paul and Book when Cam and Bridges aren't hitting. It gets ugly. They're kneecapping us right now. Like you said, they're figuring out Gallo. They are running at his ass. They are making him go off the dribble. He says
1 for 1 from 3 tonight.
Right. Gabe says Zion owned Cam Johnson. He's his biological father from here. Yeah, Bren, it was bad. It was bad. He's so much stronger. Man, let me just say something about Zion. This isn't anything groundbreaking. I think everybody watching him thinks the same thing. It's like, God forbid this kid learn about the carnivore diet or going on a plant-based eating lifestyle, because he has so much unlocked potential. You saw how he went off for, what was it, like 14, 16, 15 in the first quarter, and then he had like 4 points in the second quarter. He looked gassed by the second quarter, man. If this guy can turn himself into a long distance style athlete who can really go the extra mile, dude, scariest thing since I don't know what. And he's so fucking lovable. I mean, have you met one person that said one negative thing about Zion Williamson? To me, he is LeBron James pre the decision. Everyone loved LBJ before the decision. It was like everyone just wanted the best for him. Everyone wanted the pleasure of watching him play because he was so rewarding if you'd sit down and just watch. Same thing with Zion. But he seems to be a lot more likable guy. I mean, Bron just rubs a lot of people the wrong way. What do you think?
He's obviously nowhere near. I mean, he has the talent like LeBron, but he doesn't have maybe the drive, the shot, that kind. No, Monty, Cliff Kingsbury comp. No, Monty is a way better leader.
So explain this as a Cards fan, because I don't
Cliff
get it
Kingsbury is the biggest cheese dick coach in all of football. That dude is an absolute joke. He is a college coach with a K for college and a K for coach for Cliff Kingsbury. He is a college coach. Couldn't get over 500 when he had Baker Mayfield, or not oh my gosh, sorry, not Baker, with Patrick Mahomes. He's an absolute joke of a coach. His plays are awful. He'll call when it's 3rd and 23, when you need to get to the playoffs, he'll call a pitch play to Kenyon Drake. He is just a terrible leader. He handles the media piss poor. He's not a good coach. I hate him, but Monty is way better, man. I will not make that comparison. I love you, Gabe, and I hope the best for you, but I'm not going to go there with that just for the fact that he's a way better leader. Now, when you're talking about coaching and adjustments, Monty just sticks to his dude like Cliff does. I'll give you that one. He just sticks to him and says, I'm playing Nader until you prove me otherwise 25 games from now when we're out of playoff contention. Then I'll stop playing Nader. I agree with you there. Yes, Paul, come off the bench until you're healthy at least. Just because a guy comes off the bench doesn't mean he gets less minutes. He just gives a scoring option more overall minutes. Chris Paul's not going to come off the bench, dude.
No.
You're not going to pay Chris Paul $41 million to come off the bench.
This is Chris Paul, and I'm not just saying that from an ego standpoint. He's playing like Chris Paul. Not to mention, I don't want E'Twaun Moore starting, and I don't want Javon Carter. What
are we going to do?
Or E'Twaun Moore start over him. Now, maybe if it was campaign, maybe if it was like, oh, we got to figure something out because we've lost 10 games in a row. What can we do for a spark? Nah, bro, we've won 3 of 4. He's playing particularly well. If anything, it makes more sense to bring Book off the bench and stagger his minutes away from Chris Paul.
Why did Chris Paul seem so passive tonight? Was he tired? Did he just
gotta be? His fucking old ass back has got to be breaking under the weight of this valley.
Chris Paul's better than Ginobili and better than Lou Williams. No, I'm not doing that. Those guys are more offensive driven. Chris Paul is more big picture.
He's the quarterback. He's the facilitator. We need him there.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, and I get the scoring punch off the bench, but that's supposed to be Campaign or Saric for us. They're the ones supposed to facilitate everything. I mean, our 2 facilitators off the bench are gone. So why can't Ayton be like Zion? Just give him the ball and let him dominate. He just
sometimes he kind of does, but he don't have that.
He's not consistent. He's not consistent. How long have we been saying that? We said that last year.
You know, ego's a bad thing, right? I mean, for the most part, it'll get you in trouble, right? But I'd like Ayton to have a little bit more ego. And I feel like when Zion gets the ball, he likes to put it in his left hand and say, let me make everybody ooh and ah real quick. Like that, or like, let me get mine real quick. Like, I'm hungry for some points. Let me put my head down and get to the rack real quick because they can't stop me. And Ayton's is more like, okay, I got the ball. All right, going to do my shot. Okay, it went in. Let's go. Let's run back. You know, it's not like he's going to go out of his way. It's got to be within the rhythm of the offense. And he did talk about, I'm a rhythm player. I'm a rhythm player, meaning I'm not going to force the issue.
Dude,
Bruh, force it.
that is the worst take. I'm a rhythm player. Then get yourself in rhythm and run the damn court. Shut your mouth and do other things to get yourself the ball. Come on,
We've talked about this. He's a little immature. He's young. He's a young man. And I don't think he's hit his inner,
beast.
his inner dog yet. And I don't know if it's there. But at least the shell of talent is around it. Like Bender didn't have that dog, but he also didn't have the talent.
Marquise Chris.
No, he just had hops.
Um,
So Monty doesn't know how to manage personnel. I see CP3 off the bench. I'm flying to the East Coast to AZ and yelling at Monty. Seriously, bro, shut up, Gary.
the next one, the minutes. Yeah, that's what I think too.
Go ahead and read it for us.
In the beginning of the season, CP3 was averaging like 28 minutes, and now he's at 33, and the depth is killing us, and the wear and tear on CP3. I agree, but
It's been out of necessity.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do? He's got to carry everything. What are you gonna do? And I don't think if he came out and killed it tonight like he did the past nights, I don't know if that even would have done it for the team tonight.
Yeah, I think someone who takes a lot of pressure off of him, weirdly enough, is Saric. Because when Saric's in the game, it's like having another point guard in the game.
Yes.
So it's almost like a half sub. Like if he's in there, you can let Paul come out because you know that the offense is still going to run a little bit more smoother than it normally would if he wasn't in there. So it's like he's kind of like a weird sub for Chris Paul. And he's just a good shooter. He's a better shooter than Kaminsky. Hell of a better shooter than Ayton from three.
Campaign's a hell of a shooter too. We're missing our best shooters, our best
all of
offensive
our firepower,
facilitators.
Bro. Yeah. Gabe Martinez. I had
we all
skills.
Would, Gabe.
I would wake up and average 40 and 20 because I'm a dog. I believe in you, Gabe. I believe that you would. Chris wasn't good, but I think he would be getting so many lobs if he was on the team. Oh, Chris with two S's. Oh shit, yeah, Marquise Chris with Chris Paul. That would have been interesting. But he had terrible IQ.
I got a question for you and for everybody listening. You've been hearing me say a lot about consistency. I want to talk about Mikal Bridges and scoring. Not defense, rebound, nothing like that. I want to talk about him and scoring. We saw what he did against Indiana. He had some really amazing shots, 6 for 6. Went up in the air, was going to pass it, then just reached around for a layup. Like, we see these things that he's doing. He's getting run off the line, and he's able to pop it, get in the lane, and do some like weird little like floater thing with those long arms.
Yeah.
Now, my question is he's 24, just like Cam Johnson, but is Mikal Bridges a streaky scorer, or is he the type of player that is going to take what the defense gives to him?
He definitely seems to be the type of player who's going to take what they give him, but I mean, look down here at the stats. It's got to be coming up 0 for 7 from 3. And we've seen him go like 6 for 8 a few times. I think it's both. What do you think?
That's kind of where I lie, but I was like, it's got to be one or the other. I think the streakiness is from his 3, but taking what's given is when he takes it off the dribble and goes inside. Obviously, if it's a fast break layup, that's not what I'm talking about. This is more in the set offense, but he does take what's given to him, and he's learning to adjust. He just needs to adjust at a
but at the same time, he is taking what they give him, but he still managed to hoist up 7. So,
right.
So he is going to pull. He is shooting, and so now let's look at like how accurate, how often he's having big 3 games. It seems like he has a few, then he goes quiet for a few, and to me that screams streaky.
He's taking the ball and he's getting the pass and going like all the way down with it, then he shoots.
Yeah.
He's taking it all the way down with those long arms and then getting it off. Like, That's obviously not good form, right?
His shots when he was hitting everything, I was always still kind of surprised. Like whenever they'd go in, I'd be like, because he gives the person so much. It's almost like Lonzo's shot. You remember how Lonzo's was like, it was always, and then Mikhail's is more just
Yeah.
like he has to unfold his arms like he's got a hitch.
Like, cock it and
Yeah, but at the same time, he got himself really accurate. But now that that's fading away for several games, it leads me to think that he's inconsistent.
Gabe Martinez, that's exactly what I said. If he could get 20 a game, he could potentially be the best player on this team. We said that probably after his outburst in Indiana on that pod. If you want to go check that one out on the Valley podcast, but that's what we said. If he could somehow average 20 or get 22, this dude is a perennial all-star, all NBA-er. He's 24. Can you blame it on the age? I mean, Kobe was going to the finals and putting up 40 points in the finals. Can you blame the age on 24? Or can you, I mean, his inconsistency on the age, which is 24?
Yeah, but he's getting really close to getting to the line where sooner or later we're gonna be seeing his ceiling. You know, I don't know how much better he can get. He could get more consistent, but he's going to have to retool that shot a little bit. And did you see Lonzo? I mean, obviously he hit at one point. He was like 4 for 7. His three looks better, doesn't it? It is possible. You just have to want to do it.
If Amari Stoudemire can get a jump shot, anybody can. Now, he didn't shoot threes. He just shot the mid-ranger, but anybody can get a jump shot. I mean, Zion's shooting threes. You know, and I actually forgot to bring this up. One of the things that really pissed me off tonight was the defense on all those threes. So many times. There was one that Bledsoe hit. Chris Paul was just looking at him. There was a couple, 2 or 3 in a row. When we got it down to 14 and we were texting, I expect a run. Devin Booker gave up 2 threes and didn't even like challenge. That's the kind of thing that's pissing me off. And that's obviously it was over at that point. But if you're not even challenging the threes, I got nothing for you, dog. We're going to lose.
Well, so Gabe's saying he needs to work on his shot in the offseason. That's the missing piece to being one of the most complete players in the league. Bro, but didn't he have the shot? Like the first 9 games of the season, his shot was fucking hitting.
Wet. He was wet.
And it was like, he is here. You know? We got the steal of that draft.
Still did.
Talking so much about Mikhail makes me think about one man. Not Kelly Oubre. TJ Warren. Let's take a look at him. What's TJ been doing this year?
He's out.
15 points a game. He's in. Is he?
How many games did he played? I thought he was injured. Am I wrong? Did he play tonight?
Well, it looks like he's only played 4 games.
Yeah, he's out, dude.
So, I mean, yeah, he had a hell of a bubble, but it looks like we made the right choice, keeping Mikhail over TJ. Whereas last year, remember, all the story is they gave him up for cash considerations. And now it's like, yeah, I don't really hear any of you guys talking about TJ.
We sure did. Look how he's injured again.
Yeah. Always injured, bro. 62 points total. Is that what it is? Goodness.
It was 62 total for the season, not 62 like in a game or anything.
And I don't want anything bad to happen to him. I'm not happy that he's injured, but just, you know, these decisions that we make, you make one that turns out.
Hold on. Stop the presses. Yep, stop the presses.
Oh, shit.
Look who's here.
Unbelievable. Kids, what's going on?
Now he just said, Laker Nation, what's up? Now we can kick him off now.
All right, kick this man out of the grave.
This dude sucks.
Kiz, so I gotta ask you, Kiz, how sick? Because I know you're kidding. Like it feels like you're kidding because you go back and forth as soon as we start losing. But Kiz was talking about being a homer more for players instead of for teams. Is that how you feel, Kiz?
He got ripped on this one. If we could ever get him on sometime, we need to bring him and Gabe Martinez and Iverson vlogs for some guest spots. Man. That'd be fun if we can get you guys on the phone at least or something.
It's just one loss, kids. Obviously, it was a bad loss, but you don't got to go run into LeBron. Bron. You know, you don't got
Hold on.
to
I want to look
go
at Kiz's
chasing
tweets.
just yet. But
Let's
yeah,
see what Kiz said over the last couple hours. See how mad he is.
probably furious. Yeah,
Why on God's earth did we draft a center? Okay, yeah.
trade for Kevin Love. Gabe Martinez says yes, but I got to have Kevin Love come in here and play with Ayton. I can't involve Ayton in any sort of trade for that.
Ooh, I got a good one from Kiz. Here you go, man. This is the best one.
All right.
How many more games do we win this season with a golden retriever as our head coach if we run the opening night lineup all season?
Golden retriever, as in he's just such a nice, soft, sweet guy.
As in, if a golden retriever was our coach,
Yeah.
would we be doing better than Monty is right now?
Oh, just having a golden retriever as a coach could be better. Oh, is this what it's going to be, man? Are we all going to start turning on Monty because we hate his lineups? I mean, I was kind of enjoying having a coach that we could all uniformly get behind.
I gotta share my screen here. I've got a good one that Cam Johnson, that Kiz posted about Cam Johnson. I haven't looked fully into it, so I'll zoom in once I share it. This is interesting. This is his shooting right here. Yeah, about right there. So field goal. Cam Johnson during the 2020-2021 season. So this season, really? 29.6%, 28.6, 26, 40% on the right side, 56.5 on the right side. Wow.
A lot hotter on the right side.
Interesting. I don't know where you found that, Kiz, but if you could find Mikal Bridges or Jay Crowder's, I'd be really interested to see those.
Yeah, maybe you can find Naders.
Where
and
is
have a good
Cam
juice.
Johnson? What's he shooting this year? Yeah, man.
What do you think Naders is? He said that was before today's game.
Regular season, 36% from three. I mean, I honestly expected that dude to be 40 to 42, right? Mikal, let's see what he's shooting from three. Mikal's still at 41.6, but that's because he had that hot ass start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be up there. Jay Crowder, let's see what his 3-point percentage is. 34.6. That ain't doing it. Now, Abdul Nader, your favorite player.
Drum roll.
43.8%.
From three?
Whoop. Sorry, yep.
How many has he shot total? I want to see how many he shot total.
Oh, let me go back. Sorry, I had the highlights playing in the background there. I'll mute them this time.
There you go. I don't think we could hear him.
Huh. Well, let's see.
Nader.
Keep firing those questions off, you guys. This is a really good opportunity to do that. He's only 3 points, 7 for 16.
7 for 16 total.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess my comment about him being the most inconsistent doesn't stand. But it sure as hell feels that way. I have no confidence that his shot is going in. I don't know, man. Are we wrong about Nader? Suns Nation? Is Nader the GOAT? Gosh.
I mean, he's only played good in a few games. I just expected Cam Johnson to be a 40% consistent 3-point shooter. He's clearly fallen off. Jay Crowder fallen off. Mikal Bridges fallen off. And we said this after one of those wins. For us to win, the big three has to step up if those guys are shooting poorly. And neither stepped up tonight. If DA could have gotten 20 and 15, and Book could have gotten 6 more minutes to get to 30, and Chris Paul could have gotten to 20 or 18, we would have had a chance. They had to play good tonight, and they didn't. Matt Carvalho, hey, what is going on, man? Childhood friend. We played on a fourth grade basketball team together, and we would fight over who got the Dan Marley or the Kevin Johnson jersey number.
Guys had to.
Uh,
Oh yeah, back when the coach
back,
would have the
back.
jerseys in a box and he'd show up and he was like, everybody's reaching for 23. You guys were reaching for 9.
We got like 2 through 10 or something in this weird league where they gave out shirts instead of jerseys. What happened tonight? Man, nobody cared tonight, right? Did you see that? Nobody cared like playing. After the first quarter, shots didn't go in. They're like, well, it's whatever. Nobody cared. This is why we need Javon Carter playing, like we said earlier. We need him coming in because make or miss, he's going to give you that same tenacity. And Monty Williams said when we didn't hit shots, it dictated the rest of the game. You can't let that happen in the NBA. You can't. It's just
just because Etuan Moore is running the offense a little bit better for the second unit, but when you take Chris Paul out and you put in Javon Carter, I feel you lose nothing on defense.
I maybe even gain a little bit.
You lose on offense, but you're not going to lose on defense. You are still going to have the same defensive intensity coming from the point guard position. Why didn't we have Tyshawn to fill in for Payne? Kazir,
he's in the G League. He's in the G League. They're sending him to the G League bubble.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I want to see him play. He seems super athletic.
He's not good. He's not good enough to run an
Don't
NBA
talk
team
about
with no
Creighton
off-season.
that way. Don't talk about Creighton that way. They put out some products. All right, you'd be jonesing for Dougie McBuckets at this point.
Would I?
No, you wouldn't, and neither would I. No. But I have high hopes for Tyshawn Alexander as a Creighton guy. He
needs to develop.
He seems like a poor man's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, lanky and can do some things.
I mean, we didn't do anything with Jalen LeCue, so what gives you any type of hope? I mean, Archie Goodwin. We can go down this list here if you want. What gives
Archie
you any hope that we can?
Archie was a 2
I'm just talking about development, though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Who is the last person we really developed? It's just been as of late.
As of late, it's just
McHale and Book. We
haven't. I mean, obviously Nash, Amari, and Marion. Even though Nash flourished in Dallas before we got him, but oh no, they're going. Yeah, they're going on those now. Halliburton, Maxey, Vassell, Kira Lewis obviously isn't doing much right now. Halliburton's a tough one. I really didn't do a lot of scouting. He's one of the ones I didn't scout before this year. I wish I had. Not that my input would have mattered at all, but having Halliburton, a 6'7" combo creator, probably would have stepped up taking campaigns minutes anyways, and he would have been a boss.
Or maybe not Cam Payne, but maybe just Javon, since he seemed to lose his, maybe he would have just taken over what Etuan has. Probably would be playing all of Etuan's minutes, and I'd rather have him in there than Etuan. But I can't truly be upset yet because I still feel like we haven't had a chance to watch Sticks play.
No.
We have gotten little morsels, little tiny little appetizers of him. He comes in, hits a corner 3, they take him out. Comes in, hits a corner 3, they take him out real quick. And then he's out with COVID for 9 weeks. It's like I'm not going to be I'm not going to be crying for Halliburton, Maxey, and Vassell yet because I don't even know what Sticks is yet. And I'm mad at Monty for that. Kiz, should we just draft Kentucky guards and call it a draft? Well, they've always got ballers. Emmanuel quickly. I haven't seen him. What a name.
Throw up on Facebook Matt's last one. This is one I'd really like to get into.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still loving this team too. Do you guys think we'll make any moves beyond the All-Star break? I think we have to, right? I think we have to do something. If nothing else, we need some sort of front court depth, some sort of body out there with a little bit of girth on him, right? We need something out there because it's not going to be Sticks doing that. Me, personally, I want to go after Ish Smith. I want him to be our backup point guard and have Campaign play more off ball. I think Ish Smith would be a wonderful, perfect addition to this team. Outside of that, I'm still kind of racking my brain to see who that big would be. But what do you think?
Well, as far as Ish Smith goes, we had him. I know he's gotten a little bit better since we had him, but I'll go back to this. Might have been the second or first podcast we had, and I brought up that I feel like Cam Payne is a better version of Ish Smith. Fast as lightning,
Sure.
with the ball in his
Yes.
hands.
Yeah.
Finishes at the rim, even though he's running very fast towards the rim, which is tough to do. But I feel like Cam Payne's a better shooter. He's a little bit taller, and maybe he's not quite as blazing fast, but I feel like that's the only thing that Ish Smith has over Cam Johnson.
I feel like he's a more heady player. I feel like he's smarter.
Cam was looking goat-like. Cam was looking like we're not going to have him next year because someone's going to offer him a contract that we can't afford.
You're right.
And you want Ish Smith over that? I'm not talking about the Cam Payne that we saw after his ankle injury and he wasn't the same. I'm talking about Cam Payne bubble, Cam Payne beginning of the season, Cam Payne that plays with Javon Carter.
Yes.
I take him over Ish Smith, but I do like Ish Smith. I love where you're going, and that's why I like Cam Payne so much.
I
just
would
think-
love both of them to play together. Ish and Cam
that'd be
Payne
so
with that
fast.
speed.
That'd be so fast.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So Kiz wants IT. Is IT still playing in the league?
No, he's not. He's about to go to the Big 3 next summer.
No.
He ain't playing in the league right now.
I didn't.
And then
think
there was a here's a good one. Here's a juicy one. There was a picture on Instagram of a gentleman we all know doing yoga and looking fully fit and ready to ball by the name of Senor Joseph Johnson. ISO Joe.
Don't give me that.
He wants. I would love to see ISO Joe make a comeback. I'm nostalgic, and this has nothing to do with my coaching ability. This is purely fandom, and I want to get Joe Johnson, ISO Joe. I mean, okay, honestly, think of an isolation player that can get buckets in the second unit, though. That would have helped tonight, right?
Yeah. Where's Carmelo? Is he still with the Trailblazers? Because I feel like Joe Johnson would just be like a poor man's version of Carmelo at this point.
You didn't hit the button on me, man.
I take you weren't capping, bro. I don't have to hit it. I know you really mean that. I know you love Joe Johnson. I've heard you. See, when I came to the Suns, it was right after they whiffed on Joe and effed all that up. I was there. Salty was telling me about it, but I wasn't attached to the Suns yet. Talking about an old player coming back. If we were going to resurrect anyone's career, I would have wanted us to have brought Amari back. Talk about
wash. Oh yeah, I would have loved to have brought him back. That was stupid. We didn't do that.
Yeah, when didn't he go? Where did he go? Did he end up going to the Heat?
Dallas.
Dallas. That was some bullshit, bro. That was our chance, but
sorry. And then Don Denham comes on here and been like, "That's the best big man transaction we've made," and whatever. And I'm like, man, come on.
His requires you to mute yourself and not say anything after bringing up that Joe Johnson take. He says he averaged 33 seasons ago. Joe averaged 33 seasons ago?
He was with Utah that last playoff run. That was like 2 years ago, but he was still killing it then. And then he went to the Big 3, not this past summer because not the 2020, but 2019, and he was putting up buckets in the Big 3, which it's like the rec league. Like that really doesn't mean too much. But I bet you he's got something. I bet you he could come in this team and get 12 a game. I bet you anything.
See, Gary, you're on to something now, man, because PJ Tucker, fan favorite for a reason. I'd bring Tucker in.
I don't want another 3-and-D wing guy, dude. That's not what we need.
I mean, whose minutes is he going to be stepping on?
Jay Crowder.
Yeah, bro, it's tough, but I love PJ. I love PJ, bro.
It has nothing. That has nothing to do with being smart about basketball. That's the same.
You're right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay, but PJ can still play. PJ is still in the mode where he's worth something on the court.
So, and here's where we get into with the tough things with this, because people were talking about JJ Redick, bring Tucker back. Okay, who are you going to give up for a rent-a-player for a year? Who are you going to give up for this? He's 35. Are you really going to make that move when you're not in a win now mode? Are you going to do that?
What could the Rockets require in return for IT? I mean, sorry, IT. He's talking about IT. Bill. He's saying IT was the one that scored 33 seasons ago. He claims he's healthy now. Bro, I would give IT a chance. I would definitely bring him in on a workout for the Suns.
I mean, that makes our defense complete garbage. He's consistently one of the worst defensive players of all time. Think about that, right?
Like Ish Smith's going to do anything more on defense than IT?
Ish Smith's going to, absolutely.
Come on, like what?
Absolutely. Stay in front of your man for one. At least Ish Smith has a 6'1" wingspan compared to 5 foot whatever Isaiah Thomas is.
Isaiah Thomas played with a chip on his shoulder on defense, though. He was the little guy who was at least going to get up in your face while you dunk on him. He wasn't hapless. He just was hapless physically.
It's who are you giving up for what? JJ Redick, 36, PJ Tucker, 35. Are any of these moves really going to move the barometer up? And
like you said here, provide some toughness and a spark. Does PJ Tucker?
Yeah, that is what we're missing for sure.
Like he's that enforcer that Crowder kind of is, but isn't really. Tucker's a real enforcer. Tucker's the guy who you're going to say, "Hey, we're playing the Nets tonight. Can you go guard Kevin Durant and hold him under 30?" And he'll go do that for you. Anyone you
hold
need
him under 30, but he'll make it hard consistently. That's something that I don't know of any other player that can say that on our team tonight.
We let the Pelicans have 120. I don't even want to talk about defense. I mean, that's another reason for Tucker. We have a need for some defense on this team. He's a fan favorite. He hits the corner three. We take more corner three shots than anybody. I'm gonna look for those highlights for you, Kiz.
Okay, let me zoom in a little bit here.
Trade machine.
PJ Tucker, 7.9, so basically an $8 million salary, right? Mm-hmm. 1 year. Is it worth it for 1 year with no guarantee that he's coming back? I mean, who are we going to give up? Remember, we can't make any move with newly signed players until the end of February, so we're still a few weeks out from that. It's fun to talk about, especially after a game like this. I mean, Abdul Nader's only 1.7. Javon Carter still only makes 3.9 if that's a guy. You're not going to trade Dario. You're not going to trade Jay Crowder for 3 years.
Nader, okay?
Say what?
Let's start this trade out with Nader. We've gotten a little bit of value. We've upped his value like a little bit, right? Because he's come in, he's hit 7 out of 16 threes. He showed he can dunk a little bit. He's shown he can play some defense a little bit. Start it with him and add some things onto Nader, and then try to get a 35-year-old.
Jalen Smith?
No.
Then who are you putting up there?
PJ Tucker?
Who are you putting up there? You're not going to put Ayton, Book, or Crowder, or Chris Paul. You're not going to put Saric. Are you gonna give up Cam? We're not giving up Mikal.
No, I'm giving you, and you better take it, Rockets. I'm giving you. Scroll down for me a second. I'm giving you Etuan Moore.
He can't be traded yet. He's only at 1.6 also.
All right. Start over. I'm giving you Nader. Can we get rid of Nader? Tell me we can get rid of
Nader. Yeah.
Okay, so you can have Nader. You can have Alexander, because we ain't been using him anyway.
You just said you wanted to see him. Now you want to trade him.
I do, but I'd give him up for Tucker. I would give him up for Tucker.
He doesn't even have a salary under his name right now, you guys.
All right, so this is just
he's a trade exception. So if he's not even salary, I'd take his ass out.
But still, it's to sweeten the pot to be like, look, we're giving y'all something. We're giving you guys Nader, who's like serviceable as a backup, and then we'll give you this young kid who we think is something. Maybe you guys can make something, and we're going to give you a second round pick or 2 second rounders. Come on, bro.
We're still over the tax line. We still need to give more salary for that to work. We're not going to go over the cap line.
What, we're like, what, 1 million away?
No, we're like 6.1 away. We got to give up 6.1 to be back under. Even if you give up Jalen Smith, you're still over the tax line.
Do we have to be under, or just because we have the owner that we have?
Yeah. No, we're like 1 million or something away from the tax line. Sarver is not going to pay more than that.
But he could.
So, I mean, he could. He ain't gonna. He wouldn't do it with Joe Johnson when we have a fucking good team. He ain't gonna do it now. Come on now.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that shit for PJ Tucker.
No.
Timothy, what's up, bro? How's it been going, man? Yeah, right, Matt? I know. Like, once you look at the numbers and shit, it's a little bit different. But, I mean, I'd give up I think I'd give up Galloway. Does Galloway help? Tell me Galloway.
He makes 1.9 mil. So about 2 million, and you still need to give up 4 million.
Deal? Gabe, perfect. Start a GoFundMe. That's what we need to do. I don't know, man. We just need something. I agree with you, man. It might be time to look at some sort of trade. Oh. We were talking about bringing Kelly Oubre back. You still down for that?
That's intriguing still. You know, I hadn't thought about that since
Kiz says we're sleeping on Jay Crowder. We're not sleeping on him. We just need him back in the starting lineup, my guy. I mean,
Kelly Oubre, he's only available for 1 year, so you can get him on the cheap.
But remember,
his salary's 14.3, dog. He ain't coming here.
It's already 14.
14. Yep. Now you can do things where they pay the rest of the salary and stuff, but for the specific line of, I mean, they're 40 million over the tax line. They ain't gonna go over that.
So what would we have to give up to get Oubre back?
So
14 mil? We'd have to return 14 mil.
I read this wrong. All right. This kind of changes it. Go ahead and share mine when you get it. Let me go back to Houston. This kind of changes it a little bit. This is specifically for PJ Tucker. I read that wrong. I don't know if you can see that. We are negative 6.1 under it right now. Okay. So if we were to go out and get where's PJ right there, and let's give him Nader. Let's just see. Trade failed. Suns are over the luxury tax. Need to cut $5.6 million from the Suns' incoming trade value. Okay, so I know I was right.
So you're
doing all that ain't gonna work. We still got to add $5.6 million.
Go grab Kelly Oubre for us. This is called living in dreamland, people. Thank you for being here with us. 12 congruent viewers. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is our.
We love you guys. It's just fun to talk about this.
Thanks everybody for being here, man. Don't forget, hit that like, comment, subscribe. One thing I noticed also, it turns out, these comments don't really show up after the stream. So if you can stop by after it's finished and just say something like anything, coach, you're the GOAT, something like that. And that will really help just kind of suggest us to other Suns fans. I think that might be part of the reason, but go on. Kelly,
I just tried to make this one trade just with 1.7 going back
and
14.3 coming our way.
Up.
We have to cut 12 million out of the incoming player salary coming our way. So we still got to give up 12 mil.
Okay.
Get Kelly for some AMC stock right now. I feel that.
Right?
So we're in the same place. Who are we giving up? Either way, we have to give up 4 of these guys. We have to give up Jalen Smith, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson for that to match.
Fuck no. No, that obviously will never happen in a million.
Or we give up Jay Crowder, and we still have to give up like a Langston Galloway for a player has 1 year on their contract left. These are all 1 year players we're talking about. Now,
I got the highlights for you kids. I'll cue those up, bro.
Just to feed my ego real quick too. What is Ish Smith doing these days?
Yeah, let's check that.
Financial, where is he? I must have
Right up
passed
there
it.
in the
Ish
middle
Smith.
under Robin Lopez.
$6 million. Again, a 1-year player. I mean, who are we going to give up for something like that for a player ending up on this? Maybe the Wizards pay the rest of their salary. I don't know. They're only 800,000 under the tax line currently. Maybe they can pay some of it, and we give them a Nader, and we call it a day. But Nader's under a 1-year contract too, so I don't know if that's even worth it to them.
So Gabe Martinez brings up a great point. Warriors might cut Kelly if he keeps playing this way. And that's actually somehow true. He is playing that bad for the Warriors.
If that happens and we don't sign him, Kelly is still uber pissed. That's the only reason. Dude needs, if he gets cut, he needs to come to Phoenix. Needs to. You know how fire that would be?
Talk to me about that. So he gets, let's just say he gets cut. All right. Still got to pay him $14 million to bring him in, or does
Not
his
if he's
contract
if
reset?
he's cut. I'm not sure. Like in the NFL, you get cut, you're cut, and you can sign a new
Or
contract.
you go through waivers,
Don't-
and if somebody wants to bring you on the team, then they have to pay your contract. If not, you go to waivers, and then everyone gets a shot.
I thought you got
That's
bought out then
NFL.
at that point.
That's NFL.
That's NFL,
Is
but
it
I
the
thought
same?
NBA you get. Oh, let's look it up. Let me do some googling. That's
Everybody, we are willing to do anything to bring Kelly back. Don't judge us.
salary reduction.
Warriors are paying $97 million in luxury tax for Oubre. Kid says.
How is that even possible?
Well, I think with him,
I know. Like if for every million you go over, you have to pay 1.5 back, or something like that. But how is that? How do they think that was a good idea?
our owner wouldn't go $1 million in luxury tax. You gonna push it? Push it real good. Are there any available unsigned players? Yes.
IT's that one. Right?
IT. Let's go ahead and show this. Let's cue this up for your boy Kiz. Little offensive montage, because why would we watch a defensive montage of his? Shout out to GD Factory Clips. This is just 3 years ago. I don't know, man. You guys tell us in the chat. You guys want to see this guy as your backup point guard again? We already did him dirty once. He was fucking carrying for us, and we just threw him away like garbage. He's a creator. Him and Chris Paul, and IT really knowing his role behind Chris Paul and being like, yes, I'm the backup. I'm not here to take the starting job. He'd play with that little man chip on his shoulder. Yeah, man. God dang. Now I'm falling back in love with IT. Thanks, Kiz. Look at him on LeBron. Get your big ass off of me. He's just so crafty. You think he couldn't average 15 points a game for the Suns off the bench? Talk about what Gary's saying here, how we need some sort of spark off the bench. That's your spark off the bench. Kiz, is anyone talking about this in Sun circles, or is it just us? Look at him. He's got more balls than Ayton half the time. Get Jay crossover Timothy. Shit. We already went down that road, but hey, man, I mean, I'd rather have Jay crossover than Etuan Moore running the point. No offense, Etuan. So, Gabe, yeah, I mean, IT essentially is going to be the best player in the big three, but how old is IT?
I'll look it up.
Campaign isn't doing this. You're right. I mean, he is a level above Campaign. It's just
31.
31, bro. That's not old. That ain't old. And you get that sunlight, that vitamin D on his bones in Phoenix every day. He's going to be feeling like a 29-year-old by week's end.
So when it comes to waivers and stuff like that, I just read some of it. It looks as if you're cut, you go on waivers for 48 hours, and if you get claimed by another team, the other team picks up the entire salary. If you're cut, completely and then sign with another team, the other team has to pay some of your salary and you have to take on some of it too if it's a guaranteed contract, which
Hmm.
Oubre's is a guaranteed contract. So I didn't know that.
Hmm.
So that seems like to be, if you want to get Oubre or anything like that, that would be where it's at. Yeah, Matt said IT would be cheap. I think so too, but I'm surprised he's not playing. I really am. It's the same thing as Ish Smith though. It takes away Jeremy Lin. No, no, he's
I
doing good in China. Let him do good in China.
yeah, bro. Did you see? Did you see what Jimmer did in China
Uh,
like a few
no, I
weeks
didn't.
ago?
Sure didn't.
I was so mad. Anybody in the chat with me? Anybody else mad that they did Jimmer the way they did? I mean,
No,
granted, when he came in for the Suns, it wasn't pretty. But couldn't he have been the type of dude you let work himself into a lather and give him a little time to figure out the NBA? I mean,
can you hit the button on yourself?
God damn it. I mean, I guess you're not telling a lie.
Why you always lying?
He should get that for that Jeremy Lin comment. All right.
Okay,
No,
play.
Jeremy
This is
Lin.
for you, Tim. This one's for you. Hit it.
Why you always lying?
About Jeremy Lin. All right. So what else we got here? 31 years old.
He's 31. Yeah.
Maybe we can get LeBron here. He'll bring 3 stars. That ship has sailed. We've always been on the outside looking in. You know, he drives by us in his limo, looks out, says, sunset. Not happening. So you're saying he looks like he's healthy, kids. You talk about IT? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen him. I haven't heard from him. I would have thought he was buried on somebody's bench at this point. I'm shocked he's not in the league if he's only 31. I mean, that is stupid.
He got blackballed, man. I don't know what happened with him, but he got that injury and then just got blackballed for whatever reason.
You know, apparently it was a serious hip injury.
But yeah, for sure.
Lynn's in the Warriors G League right now.
Man, it's tough coming off of games like this, right? It's just this is what we talk about. We talk about things like this because we all think we suck.
This is how low we are tonight because we lost to the effing. God, I can't remember who it is. They're so bad.
It doesn't matter who it is. It's another bad team we lose to.
A bad L to a bad Pelicans team. And we're over here contemplating bringing IT in to save us. That's how desperate we are. But hey, we love our team.
Let's reel
Jimmer
it back.
dropped 70, I think, in China.
Bunch of 5'2" ballers. Yeah, so did Book with an N and L. But anyways, let's reel it ball back in. This is just one of those games, and we need to move on. We haven't had any opportunity to see our. I love Lou Dort. There's no way they're letting Lou Dort go.
No, he's saying
he's
saying we need to pick somebody
up
out
like
of the
yeah.
The way they picked up Dort and he's turned into what he's turned. Great point,
Well,
Tim.
when they get going, when the G League actually gets going, I think it's going to be a different story.
Do you know how fast I would buy a D Rose jersey, Gabe, if he was on the Suns?
One-year contract.
What's going on with D Rose? Does he need out of Detroit?
1-year contract again. Let me just double check on that. I'm pretty sure. Which let's talk about Detroit for a second. What do we need to do to beat Detroit, Gabe? What do we need to do?
Maybe it'd be a good time to go back and watch the highlights from the last Detroit loss.
Well, Jeremy Grant went off on us.
That's what it was. We got to stop Jeremy Grant from looking like a better version of Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the box score on that one because there's something else I'm missing too. Yeah, Derrick Rose is making 7.6 mil, so over what Ish Smith was, a little bit under PJ Tucker. That's just another That's just another one, bro. Well, we're not going to get that one either, unless you're going to give up one of our dudes.
Yeah,
This is when Booker and Paul were both playing trashy too.
I got it pulled up.
What an awful game that was. We should have won that game.
Not
Jeremy Grant goes off for 31 that game.
Not a bad point, kids. I mean, we just have to play like we want to win, and that was what it was tonight. Nobody was playing like they wanted to win.
DeLon Wright had 16 points. Mason Plumlee had 12 points. Blake Griffin only had 16 and 10. There, 100%. I completely agree. Oh, an open book 3, and he actually made it. No, I agree. There's nothing they specifically need to do. They just need to come out and play. Play like we know they can.
Watch the Suns bring Peyton as a backup. Which Peyton are you guys talking about? Because I saw there was a Peyton on the
Pritchard
Knicks who had 20 points tonight. I'm thinking, are they talking about Gary Payton Jr.?
Are they talking about Peyton Pritchard?
I've never even heard of Peyton Pritchard. It's because I haven't been playing 2K, man.
Out of Oregon, plays for the Celtics now, but I think he's doing pretty good over there.
Remember, Chris Paul was Alfred Payton.
Alfred Payton. No, that ship sailed too. That shit sailed too. Man. But yeah, watch them do something like that. You're right. I just saw it with Jay Crowder just giving Jeremy Grant all that space. Devin Booker again. Look at that. That's the defense Devin Booker played tonight. Where's the defense Devin Booker played against Dallas? What, he's just going to do that crap when he wants to? Like, that's trash.
Yeah. I remember this game now. It was just JJ did nothing. So we're going to have that to look forward to. We're going to have another JJ, Josh Jackson potential revenge game. Josh Jackson goes off on us and some of my guys went, he says we'll never hear from kids again if JJ goes off and they win.
Bookmark this. 1 hour, 21 minutes. Kiz says he's going to get off of Twitter.
Right.
Man, I love Dennis Smith Jr. I just don't know if he's good enough. That's just the God honest truth. I just don't know if he's good enough.
I loved him too. I just he seems like one of those Josh Jackson players where there's just red flags with his attitude and his want to, But I'd give him a look. Fuck yes, I'd give Dennis Smith Jr. a look. No question. Yes, man, D Rose. Think about D Rose on the Suns.
This is the game. Mikal Bridges had 6 points, and Crowder had 6 points, and Cam Johnson had 10 points. Mikal Bridges was 0 for 4 from 3, and then he goes out and torches it against the Pacers. Oh, yeah, that dude kept hitting it. What's his name? That
Luke.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but yeah.
He had 2 threes, only 2 for 8. Something's got to happen with. Oh yeah, this is when he went off.
Dude, look at how different our team looks. There's 5 people playing in that last Dario that aren't playing right now.
That's the problem, dude. We can't find any rhythm.
Yogi Ferrell.
No,
I like Yogi Ferrell. I mean,
what are we talking about? Are we talking about making moves to put us over a hump? Or are we talking about moves just to make a move? What are we talking about here?
Probably just to make a move, right?
Oh,
he was a hooper. He was a hooper in Dallas.
He was a boss.
But they replaced the fuck out of him real quick with your boy Luka. They were like, "Yeah, get the hell out of here, Dennis."
He was part of the package for Porzingis.
That's what it was. Did you see Porzingis tonight? Bro, he put his knee in some dude's chest and banged on him hard.
Well,
and he hit. It was like a game-winning tap-in off of Luka's. Yeah, Dallas looked a lot better tonight.
And they're showing a sense of urgency, right? And they're playing hard. But we've seen this in so many games in the NBA. I'm not too worried about tonight. But the things that I am worried about are the personal games, the games with the game within a game, the Mikal Bridges being streaky as hell, the Cam Johnson defense, the no structure in the second unit, just all that stuff. Ever since we made that switch, Jay, for Cam, it's just gone downhill. I mean, you can't let Blake Griffin just do that. He can't even move anymore.
He wasn't moving at all in this game until the third quarter, and then he just started lighting us up.
How did we lose this game, dude? We just didn't do anything. Booker
Look at
missing.
this.
There we go,
Look at
Ayton.
this,
But
you
Booker
know?
missing another wide open three.
Bro, fuck George Hill. I've never liked George Hill's style of play. I'm sorry. I just don't like George Hill. In fact, little anecdote. When I was 22, I was working in San Antonio. I was living in San Antonio when he was a Spur. So I met him one night, and I met – who was that dude with no knees that they drafted? Blair. Remember DeJuan
Blair.
DeJuan Blair?
He was a beast in college. You couldn't stop him.
So those dudes came into this nightclub that I worked at, right? And I was like, I don't want to say a bouncer. I was check the IDs and stuff. It wasn't like I had to toss anyone out. I wasn't Patrick Swayze or anything, okay? But, you know, when he got there and he went in, they wanted, like, you know, they were telling him he had to wait or whatever. And he tried to big time everybody. And he gave the girls a, do you know who I am? Like, do you guys know who I am? And ever since then, I've hated George Hill. It's like, F that douchebag. I don't care if you're in the NBA. Don't give us the do you know who I am Karen speech. Ayton, did he have a big game? Was
13 and 11, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
No bigger than tonight.
No. At one of those games. That's what I've been saying, like a JJ Redick. No, along with that, I want to see Devin Booker come off more screens. I want to see him come off screens like he did the game winner against Dallas, but I want him doing it in the mid-range too. Maybe some double screens. A couple double screens from the elbows to the free throw line where he runs through them to the top of the key. Like things like that I want to see, and we haven't seen that. It's Cam Johnson cannot guard Jay Crowder or Jeremy Grant, dude. Jay Crowder needs to guard him. We have to make that change in the lineup. I'd really like to see that. Dario. Oh, Super Dario. I miss you. Damn. Oh, yeah, that's right. This game went into freaking overtime. And we blew it in overtime.
Action.
DeAndre Ayton fouled out, right? No, he didn't. He's still in.
God, Grant. Too long and strong.
This is playing. No, Mikal Bridges playing, and Saric and DeAndre Ayton are on the floor together, kind of like what we saw with Kaminsky tonight, and getting powered too little, too late.
Yeah,
Booker posted up more tonight. So let's talk about.
I don't really like the way Monty's using Booker. You guys are right.
A lot of things that we're seeing with the coaching staff, and we loved Monty. We still do, but you're starting to get on the hot seat a little bit in my policy violation. What policy
violation? Did we get a policy violation, Tim? I hope not.
We shouldn't have.
Showing a game from like,
the stream got taken down.
No.
Are we still live or no?
I don't think we are, bro. I don't think we're live. Yeah, stream got taken down. I don't understand how. I mean, we show the highlights every game.
Yep, it's down.
Those highlights we were showing were like 3 weeks old. So weird.
I was doing Trade Machine. That was it.
Couldn't have been Trade Machine. Fuck. Well.
Are you getting an email?
I'm going to go look right now.
We're still on Facebook.
What up, Facebook? Like one person watching on Facebook. You type it into the chat. Tell them to go switch back over to Facebook.
That's stupid.
I know.
But because we're still live and people are still going to be able to watch this, I just want to talk about the NBA real quick, and we'll just get into that, and then we'll call it a night and deal with policy violations again for doing nothing wrong. Sixers beating the Hornets tonight, 118-111. Joel Embiid, 34 points, 11 rebounds, crushed them. But the Bucks won by 20, 130-110 over the Pacers. Giannis only had 21 and 14. Domantas Sabonis, dude, 33 and 12, and came out with a big fat L. Mavericks got a dub over the Hawks, 122, 116, pulled it off. Luka had 27 and 14 assists. John Collins again, 35 points and 12 boards. You might be right about him. Clippers winning by 22 over the Cavs, 121 to 99. Paul George with 36 points. Colin Sexton, 27 and 1 rebound and 5 assists. You need to have a little more than 5 assists, bro. Wizards beating the Heat again. What is going on? 103 to 100. Bradley Beal, 32 points. Jimmy Butler, only 19. That finals run must have killed him.
Right.
Knicks winning again, 107-103. Julius Randle going big, 27 and 6. And you want to talk about trade pieces? We can talk about him a little bit. That's a guy I would definitely trade a Cam Johnson for or something like that. But we'll get into that when we can actually be on YouTube. Thunder winning again over the Rockets, 104-87. They just keep chipping away. Baisley had 18 points and Eric Gordon only had 22. Okay, I can't believe they lost that. Spurs beating the T-Wolves like everybody does except when we play them. DeMar DeRozan had 30. Malik Beasley had 29. Kings beat the Celtics, 116 to 111. De'Aaron Fox with 26. Jason Tatum with 27. That's surprising that the Kings beat the Celtics, but here we are.
Gives me
End
hope.
of the podcast.
Yeah, it gives me hope for when we play them coming up. But yeah, they're saying that we're back on YouTube. Hopefully they brought us back up. Cool.
We are back.
Appreciate it, Kiz. Thanks for letting us know. Iverson. Kiz says Jimmy Butler is just a tough guy with a God complex. Yeah, but the thing I like about him is he's kind of like Dame Lillard in that he doesn't want to join a super team just to win. He wants to create something and actually have to work for it. And I respect that. What do you think about Butler?
Disappointed that they're not doing better. I think it does just have to do with them, losing a Jay Crowder, playing in the finals and going so hard for so long, and just is what it is with them. I mean, they got to turn it up. I bet you they sneak into the playoffs and they could still make another run, right? Maybe they just think they can turn it on too. Who knows? But losing another game like that, that's not good. I don't know if you guys heard me say it, but if we want to talk about trades, one guy that I would trade for if they'd be willing to part, I would trade a Cam Johnson. I would trade a campaign. I would trade Jalen Smith. I would definitely trade for Julius Randle. I would love to see that dude pair it up. That's the big guy that we're missing. Play him at the 4. Have a legitimate 4 presence on there. Slow the game down. Get it to him because Ayton don't want to do what he does. I would love to see that. Ooh, I'd love to see that.
But think about this real quick. How would he and Ayton fit together, considering neither of them is going to be stretching the floor?
Sure, that's a legitimate thing to think about, and you got to think about what kind of offense you want to run. I do think we could really be a slow, methodical team doing that. You have a guy like Mikal Bridges playing the 3 and then Devin Booker, I think you could play a lot of like the Memphis Grizzlies in the past with a Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph. I think we would be one of the most dominating rebounding teams.
Kids, are you not impressed with Kaminsky tonight, like in the last few nights? I mean, obviously, we need somebody better than him in there, but I was saying earlier before you got here, kids, I thought he had a great game tonight. 6 and 7, gritty, moving the ball well, kind of looked like almost like Dario moving the ball. Iverson's saying Knicks fans hate Randall because he spins with the ball too much and turns it over too much. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of no one watches him in New York. You just see his stat lines looking good. Am I wrong?
He makes 18.9 mil. So if we were to give up Jalen Smith, Cam Johnson, and Abdul Nader, that's still $10 million, and we need to find an additional $2 or $3 million. That's it. So I mean, you could throw in, Javon Carter's asked for 3.9 mil. I wouldn't be missing him. You can throw in a bunch of 1.7s. Maybe you get a third trade in here. I like that trade for what it is, and if they're not happy with him, Chris Paul, Julius Randle, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges. You still have Saric coming off the bench. You still have Campaign coming off the bench. You can keep Langston Galloway. Maybe you don't give up Nader. Maybe you give him like a Etwan Moore or something like that. You still have something there. Maybe you can get another role player from a third team in a trade, right?
Totally.
That for me would be the legitimate one out there. We don't know he's available. He's only here. He's got a 1-year deal. It's his last year. That's why I think he would be available. Anybody's available if you're on a bad team with a 1-year deal contract. So that's the one that would do it for me. I can't think of any other ones that would move the needle. Aaron Gordon, maybe. Does he move the needle? Is he what we need? He could finish with Chris Paul, right?
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Just hoping we get this win against the Pistons. I think things will feel a lot better if we can get that W. That's a game that will hurt to lose. It's going to make us look weak. Tonight made us look weak. But you really look weak. You lose to the Detroit Pistons 2 out of 2 times at home. Starting a 7-game.
The only game that matters. I don't care about a 7-game win streak or 7-game home streak. It's one game. The one game is Friday. Take care of business. Game is on at what time? What time have we got the game? Is it 7?
Is it the Sunday game? No, that's the Celtics.
Sunday is Celtics.
Bro, that's Super Bowl Sunday, bro. We're going to get to watch the Suns, hopefully get a win against the Celtics, and then sit down and watch the Super Bowl. That's going to be fun.
7 o'clock Mountain Time, Pistons at Suns. So we're going to be with you right after the game. I definitely do want to talk a little bit Super Bowl. Maybe Friday. Maybe we do it after the Boston game because it's going to be right then. It'll be a nice build up. I do want to let everybody know that I am smoking a like 9-10 pound pork butt, and then I'm gonna make it into stuffed potatoes. I'm gonna scoop it all out, mix it in there, put some bacon bits on top, and then I'm making a huge ass thing of queso. Gonna put a bunch of the pork in there as well too. So we'll have the pork plus the queso plus the potatoes, and I just want to make y'all jealous. It's gonna be that good 10-11 hour smoke. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to up my game. I was just planning on having a couple friends over to watch the game, but now I'm gonna have to actually start thinking about what I'm gonna cook. Probably have to grill. Could go the long route and smoke some ribs for like 14 hours, but I don't know, man. It's not if it was my team, if it was the Bears in the Super Bowl, of course I'm going all out, but to watch Mahomes, who the Bears should have had, I don't know how much I want to.
Andy Reid deserves the Super Bowl he got last year, and probably if he wins this weekend, Andy Reid deserves that. I can't believe how he got thrown out of town and people wanted him gone, and now look at him. He's a godsend.
But he also has a godsend QB, right? I mean, I heard I like him, but okay, just real quick. We won't talk too much football. But real quick. I love Andy Reid. I'm with you, right? I mean, I'd do anything for him to be the Bears head coach. But I've heard rumors that his ex-players talk about how he's a terrible coach and all he is a good play caller. So you just have this play caller on the offense that doesn't really do much. Kenneth Faried.
Good. He ain't playing. He's gone.
What happened to Kenneth the Manimal Faried?
I loved him. I even made trades with the Suns to get him. When we had Tyson Chandler, I would make trades to get Kenneth Faried as my 4. Yeah, I liked Kenneth, but
bro, he was like a better version of Montrezl Harrell.
No, Montrezl Harrell's a better version of Kenneth Faried. What are you talking about?
In those first 2 years, Faried was looking like a serious. He was in the All-Star game.
Yes, he was in the All-Star game, and he played for Team USA, and he blew up whoever he played.
Happened?
Just
one of these nights, we got to do a deep dive into what happened to Kenneth Faried.
Who brought it up? It was Timothy. Timothy. That's you. I'm holding you accountable. What happened to Kenneth Faried? So next Friday when we talk about this,
that's your homework.
Monstrous W against the Pistons. We're bringing you on the spot, Timothy.
Anything else you want to get to, Coach?
Nah, hour and 40 minutes at the 20-minute mark. I was like, what the hell are we going to talk about?
Right. That's easy, man. It's easy because you guys are so fun in the comments, man. We really appreciate all y'all being here. Yeah. So we'll see you guys after the Detroit game. Make sure you're tweeting with us. Let us know what you're thinking. Thanks, everybody on Facebook and Twitter. Coach, you want to sign us out?
Please comment, Like, subscribe, share it out. We're the only Phoenix Suns podcast that's going to give you other content that's not affiliated with the Suns. We are going to go into other markets. If you want to talk to somebody from Detroit on Friday, I will go find somebody from Detroit to talk to. Somebody that's semi-reputable with at least a podcast or something. You guys want to talk about something else in another market? We are going to find it for you. You want to talk about trades this whole time? We are going to do it. So we're going to give you exactly what the fans want. So please help us out. But as always, I am at Coach Evan B on Twitter. You can find me there. Comment there. Tell me how terrible all my takes are. I love it. Gabe, where can we find you?
Guys, follow me, please. Suns Valley Pod. I have so few followers. Just kidding. It's not that bad. I'm growing slowly.
What are you at now?
Oh man, 70s. But I never used to really mess with Twitter, so I'm still getting used to it.
I had an account that had like 700 followers, and it was just so grotesque. My account was so grotesquely just overbearing douchiness that I just wanted to get rid of it and start off with something new. And that was literally just a few months ago. So here we are.
Hey man, it's been great having you. It's been great having all you guys in. Thanks so much for coming by, even though we lost. And we will see you guys next time. We'll see you after Detroit.
Deuces.
Let's get